unboxing shenanigans are performed by trained professionals of chaos. IndieRPM and the Curio Hunter are not responsible for rare card envy or the spontaneous sudden urge to buy an entire case of trading cards. Their mission: to open card packs so you don't have to. They're here to show you what's inside before you buy, especially those non-sport trading cards you love. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the madness. Interact with the boys live and enter for a chance to be their weekly winner. You've been warned. Let's unbox the universe.
Welcome to Unbox the Universe. This is the Midweek Mini. I'm Monster Truck Damon.
I'm the Curio Hunter.
And we unbox things so you don't need to.
Mm-hmm. So, typically on a Midweek Mini, we have a wheel and we spin it. So I will let our special guest do the spinning.
Let's get in frame.
And we've been on a big Angry Birds and Trick or Treat kick. So we're really hoping to get something
Thanks to our engineers.
different this time. So let's see what happens.
All right. Things gonna go for days.
Probably shouldn't have greased it up as much as I did.
It says 10 push-ups.
Oh,
yeah.
Second pull.
Second pull.
All right.
Curio, explain what's happening.
Right, we have a tool bag here because it's what I had. Price was right, and when we get like various packs,
It's a magic bag of madness.
the magic bag of madness, I'm told, is what this actually is. So when we get different packs and stuff like that, and it has like an odd number, you know, we select how many we're gonna use for like the main shows. We throw the extras in here, so
the
it
magic
could
bag
be,
of madness.
That's right, which I will forget what it's called here shortly. But so second pull, was it?
Second pull.
So pull one out, and that won't be the one. And then
I'm gonna give it a shuffle because I kind of saw on top. I'm too familiar.
all right,
All right. Second pull. This is the first pull.
it's not going to be an Easter pack
Not gonna be an Easter pack. So what you're looking at is not what we're doing.
unless it comes up again.
Very well. I think we're going for gold.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm excited for this one.
All right, so now I'm told I'm supposed to try to find one that matches that, which there may or may not be one in here that matches that. What was that?
I'm still holding on to the Easter one. We're looking for 007. So James Bond fan. Come on in.
So it may very well be. Oh,
There you have it.
we just happen to have two because it may very well be that there was only one like extra one, you know, an odd number. So, but we lucked out. It's as if it were meant to be for this particular episode. So now we're going into this essentially blind, knowing nothing about these cards because we haven't done them in our main show yet. So you'll find out with us, and we'll try to tell you what we got. This is James Bond Connoisseur's Collection, Volume 2, The 70s, 007 Super Premium Tradium Cards, or maybe it's 7 premium. Maybe it's 007 Super Premium Trading Cards per pack.
And we're in volume 2, so it's the 70s, so we're going to see a lot of Roger Moore.
And this is made by Inkworks.
Now, I have a favorite James Bond character. Do you have a favorite James Bond villain more so?
You know, I'd have to think about that for a while.
So I'm a big fan of Richard Kiel, who is the actor that played Jaws, which is the only, to my knowledge, Bond villain that's in 2 Bond films. He's in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker, and he's more of a henchman to the main villain. But he seems indestructible, and Richard Kiel was 7'2". He was initially cast for the Incredible Hulk instead of Lou Ferrigno. There's one surviving scene with him in it as the Incredible Hulk. But he was also the guy with the nail in his head in Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
And sadly, he passed away. But I'm hoping for a Jaws card.
Nice. I would say, so one of my favorite James Bond movies is Octopussy.
Yeah.
So, and I like it because it's like, it's a group of strong ladies, you know, and like I like those group things where they come in and fight and stuff like that, and it's like there's chaos going on. James Bond's doing his thing, but like, you know, the other people are sort of handling business and stuff in the background. So that's been one of my favorites and stuff. So
Well, hopefully we get an Octopussy card.
we'll see. Let's see. Would you like to go first this time?
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I am a big Beatles fan, as my tattoo shows.
Okay.
And this one's somewhat Beatles related, not too much of a degree away. But this is, I'm gonna read the back here, but just so you see it. This is Live and Let Die.
Here, we'll get that back there.
Live and Let Die. Solitaire helps. Sorry. Some of the font's a little hard to read because it overlays with the image there. But Live and Let Die. Solitaire helps Bond discover Kananga's secret, a huge poppy field exposed as a heroin dealer. Kananga quickly recaptures Solitaire, and after some effort, Bond, Tee-Hee, Kananga's hooked-handed henchman, cheerfully throws Bond to old Albert, the croc who took his hand. Although Tee-Hee's hook is ridiculously fake-looking, actor Julius W. Harris plays the villain so well that Tee-Hee emerges as an unexpectedly likable character. And so, you can see all that right there. There's the graphic with Bond.
So I'm trying to remember. Is that the movie where James Bond runs over the top of crocodiles?
I believe it is.
Because I was watching a thing where it said that was a real practical stunt.
Yes.
Which totally amazes
Several
me.
takes.
But you know, and nobody got hurt, and you know, hats off to the stunt performers
And the crocodiles.
because that was something. All right. Well, the first one I have is called The Moore Dossier. So Bond is an action hero, and Moore had no trouble making Bond's physical exploits thrilling. But whereas Connery and Lazenby were real Bonds who could sustain real injuries, Moore endowed his character with a superhuman quality that makes him seem indestructible. No matter how grueling the fight, how violent the explosion, or how far the fall, Moore's Bond comes out of it winded but whole, and usually looking as dapper as ever. So, that is what about got me with
the card called?
It's called the Moore Dossier.
Oh, I see. Yes.
And so it was just a little blurb on Roger Moore. Yep.
He's my favorite Bond. I don't know. Do you have?
Well, you know, I mean, Connery's always Moore and Connery are my I would say top two and stuff, but
you know, Lazenby's technically between the two, but he was only in one, and I don't remember exactly which one it was.
was that on Her Majesty's Secret Service?
I think it is. It's where his wife is shot right at the end. They get married.
I have a friend that was a huge Bond fan, and he would be telling us right now. If you know, go ahead and tell us in the comments below. Feel free to correct us. We'd like accurate information out there anyway. So,
all right. So, Enemies and Allies is what this card is called. It says down there in the corner. Enemies and Allies. Russia's General Walter Gogel front. Gogol, I don't know. England's Minister of Defense, Frederick Gray. Jeffrey Keane. You'll see a picture of him here in a second. Have become something of an unofficial team when it comes to 007's exploits. The three officials come together, consult on world crises, sometimes even meeting Bond in the field, and inevitably judging his efforts to be unsatisfactory. But in the end, Bond saves the day. That's pretty accurate, yeah.
yep. All right. My next one is The Man with the Golden Gun. Bond visits the Bottoms Up Club where Andrea Anders claims Scaramanga will be that night. Scaramanga is there alright. He assassinates Gibson, the man who invented the Solex. Scaramanga's aide, Knick-Knack, makes off with the Solex while Bond is hustled away by Lieutenant Hip of the Hong Kong police. Christopher Lee, Scaramanga, is Ian Fleming's first cousin. Years earlier, Fleming had wanted Lee to portray the villainous Dr. No. So there you go.
Interesting.
Isn't that some fun facts and tidbits? You know, and I keep seeing these things about, you know, how crazy is not the right word, but just like you know, Christopher Lee and like all of his exploits and stuff, and it goes back all the way to like, you know, the Lord of the Rings. Like supposedly, you know, he witnessed like the last guillotine execution in France. He was given permission to marry like Swedish royalty or whatever. I mean, like the guy like has lived a life that, you know, most of us can only dream of and stuff. But and I had forgotten, but yeah, he was cousins to Ian Fleming as well. But you never know.
Wow.
You never know. So, somebody to look up if you wanna learn more. He's a character.
Well, I have another Enemies and Allies card. Enemies and Allies of Bond. So, Ernst Stavro Blofeld, played by Charles Gray, has always been a two-faced menace. That is. But when he perfects a way to literally duplicate himself, the safety of the world looks bleak indeed. Blofeld's scheme is not only daring, but it shows the man's insatiable ego. Only Blofeld's pampered Persian puss in any contest. This cat is so in tune with its evil master that it hisses if Bond gets too close. So I thought that would be on Blofeld, but it's actually the back graphic is the cat.
It's the cat and stuff. So you had mentioned that. So I think Janus is a two-faced god. And stuff. So that's where they say, you know, if you're two-faced or whatever, it's in reference to that because of the images. Now don't ask me what mythology Janus is from. If you know, help us out. But stuff, I will trade me a card. Trade me a card.
I'm a little attached to the top one.
All right, well, trade me the next one under and stuff, and so I'll go for that one and stuff. So, all right, the next one I'm going with is called Enemies and Allies. $1 Million assassin Francisco Scaramanga is a cold-hearted killer, but there's something irresistibly charming about this dangerous man, no doubt, due to actor Christopher Lee's portrayal. Scaramanga's soft-spoken, mannerly, stylish, and when he meets Bond, downright friendly. And unlike other Bond villains, he develops or displays an engaging sense of humor. Scaramanga is, in fact, so likable at times that his death is almost regrettable. Almost. We were just talking about Christopher Lee, so there you go. A little extra information about him. All right.
Well, I have the Ladies Gallery card. So, first one for Bond girls. From the Ladies Gallery. Even when seen for only a few moments, a pretty face can have lasting effects. Leggy and Naomi, which is Carolyn Monroe. You can see her on the front there. However, it looks like... Oh, that's her on the back, too. Okay. It didn't look like it for a second.
It's not a cat, right?
So, okay. Yeah, I was making sure I wasn't
Blofeld's
confused like
cat
the last card.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Assistant to a billionaire, a megalomaniac, Carl Stromberg catches Bond's eye not once, but twice. First when she meets him, then later when she tries to kill him. Naturally, in a Bond film. The log cabin girl in Austria, Sue Vanner, back. Oh, that's what's up. She's pictured on the back here. First beds Bond, then 6 KGB agent on him. Or agents on him. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That event creates deadly complications during Bond's subsequent mission. All right. So we got the front there, and the back's coming around.
And I'm trying to remember, does it say what movie that was from? Because it's escaping me right now.
Because I can see it in my head.
Yeah. All right, audience, you're going to have to help us out a little more here. There's just been so many that it's hard to...
It does not.
I kind of wish that it did, you know, since there's so many different Bond movies.
So it would be a 70s.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is, you're right there. All right. Well, the next one that I have is on Moonraker. With the staggering success of Star Wars in 1977, it was perhaps inevitable that the intrepid 007 go where no British agent had gone before, outer space. But in order to compete with the new sci-fi boom, Moonraker had to send Bond across the face of Mother Earth before leaving her behind. Moonraker covers all the bases, sending Bond underwater, on the water, into the air, beyond the atmosphere, and finally, of course, into bed with the leading lady. So much for our family-friendly channel here. I'm trying.
Moonraker is one to feature Jaws as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have 35 years of gadgets. Well, I don't think we've had one of these yet. So Bond in flight. Often, 007 must defy the laws of gravity to achieve a goal. Be that goal the penthouse suite of the White Tower, the escape from an enemy plane in flight, or access to a secret Russian chemical warfare facility. Over and over again, James Bond entrusts his life to the amazing Q and his creations that allow him to fly, swing, dive, swoop, and just plain plummet straight down without mishap. And so sideways on the top, but you'll see the vertical graphic on the right.
You know, and if we're picking our favorite consistent Bond character, I'm going to have to give it to Q. I mean, like, it's been one of those things. Q Branch, especially in like these era of movies where it's almost over the top, these gadgets and stuff like that. But that's always been a favorite. I enjoyed that. Then they kind of changed up the format, did some Bond movies without it altogether. Mm-hmm. And then when they brought it back, it was more, I'm going to say, realistic and stuff like that. But I think the original, almost over the top Q Branch was my favorite.
I like that.
So yeah, it's
I like that.
Yep.
It's part of what makes it James Bond, I think.
So the next one I have is, we were talking about Moonraker. It's another one on Moonraker. Jaws brings Bond to Drax's high-tech rocket base hidden deep in the Brazilian jungle. There, Bond is reunited with Holly Goodhead, and together they witness Drax's Moonraker fleet take off. The agents sneak aboard Moonraker 6 and fly to Drax's secret space station. As if the Noah's Ark aspect of Drax's Moonraker fleet isn't biblical enough, Bond is challenged by women and serpents before entering Drax's rocket base. Well, there you go.
To my understanding, Moonraker was somewhat of a flop for James Bond.
Okay.
I don't know if that's...
Well, you know, it kind of makes sense, right? Because if they were almost following on the heels of Star Wars, like that one card claims, you know, I mean, like, you're trying to break into something that another series already has locked up, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so I can see that. But of course, there have been a lot of big budget movies that I enjoy that turns out to have been flops. You know, and I'm thinking
motif of
I'm thinking like Waterworld and stuff, which is one, and I enjoy the theme park show. It was like maybe at Universal or something like that. You know, I like a lot of things about it and stuff. Evidently, it was not a money maker, and it costs, you know, of course, you're filming an entire thing on water and stuff. But
you loved it.
I love it, you know, and I'm not sure the family would watch it with me. But, you know, I played there was a PC game. I played that. They have some trading cards. We will probably see those at some point in the game and stuff. We'll probably see so many that you'll know everything about Waterworld trading cards. But in any case, it's interesting, you know. And then there's some, you know, while we're on the topic, you know, some movies that you really wish would do better, you know, because like the threshold for making a sequel has to be like so profitable anymore that a lot of things just don't make the cut, you know. And there are perfectly good stories and stuff, and then there's some stories that never see the light of day because they won't be profitable.
Yep.
And executives, you know, unfortunately know that and stuff. You know, you may not know, or you may know, but I went to school, went to film school to learn how to make movies. And, you know, when we graduated, they kind of said, well, I hope you enjoyed it, because that's the last time you make a movie for the art of it. Because when you go into the real world and you're trying to pay the bills and stuff like that, making movies, you know, it changes and stuff like that. And it really takes some of the art and the fun out of it when you got to pay bills or got to pay back investors and stuff. So unfortunately, and we see that all the time, you know, people vote with their dollars at the box office and stuff. But in any case, I have forgotten which one of us is up. I think I just went, so I think you're up.
Okay. I have forgotten as well, but I do have. You'll like this one.
Okay.
The Connery portfolio. Sean Connery hadn't intended ever to return to the world of James Bond. He felt somewhat strangled by the role of by the end of his last movie, which is You Only Live Twice, and wanted to rebuild a non-Bond film career. But he couldn't resist the sizable salary offered for Diamonds Are Forever, and by the time the mantle of Bond settled back on his shoulders, Connery clearly began to have fun.
I can see that. Although I, being an Indiana Jones fan, really enjoyed Sean Connery in The Last Crusade. One of my all-time favorite movies, I would say. So,
I've not seen it.
Really? Like how can this be?
I know.
Have you seen any of the Indiana Jones movies?
I have.
Okay.
But I don't remember which one. I know I've seen the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Wait. What is the newest one? What's the one with Shia LaBeouf?
That's the fourth one.
Okay, I've seen that one.
And then there's a fifth one, and I unfortunately haven't seen the fifth one because it came out after children were in the picture. It's not age appropriate, so we have to time it right and stuff when they're not around. But the first one sort of set a high bar. The second one is a little dark and stuff, and then in my opinion, the third one's just the best out of all of them and stuff. So we'll have to plan a movie night.
We will
when you're back in town sometime. We got the space for it over in Studio B over there, and we'll go from there. All right. This Midweek Mini is turning into a full episode here. So the next one,
fun.
I'm on a Moonraker kick, so we've got yet another Moonraker card. The U.S. Space Shuttle Moonraker mysteriously disappears. James Bond is sent to investigate after he returns from his previous mission, which requires a harrowing skydiving escape from Jaws. Bond travels to Drax Industries in California, where Moonraker shuttles are manufactured, and is taken to Drax's mansion by the lovely Corinne Dufour. French actress Corinne Clary Dufour was hired to play Trudy Parker. The character was later renamed for her. There you go. All right, you should be on your last one.
Well, we really are on a Moonraker kick.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is also a Moonraker card, but it features my guy, Jaws. When Bond's attempt to reveal the secret lab at Vermini Glass is clearly thwarted by Drax. Bond travels to Rio, where his liaison, Manuela, leads him to C&W Imports, another Drax-owned company. Noting the Drax Air Freight labels on crates inside, Bond next visits the airport, where he bumps in to Goodhead and Jaws. Richard Keel, Jaws, could only wear his metal teeth for minutes at a time because they were exceptionally painful. So we're going to start with the Jaws here after.
And those are things you don't think about, but a lot of times, you see, especially in superhero movies where the actors are in full prosthetics or whatever, and it's not comfortable, know, and so then
long hours
to take
too.
that discomfort and then to have to, act, perform, and stuff like that on top of it.
As if you're not bothered by it.
Right? Yeah. Arguably, you could say they get paid the big bucks to do such things, and
that's why it pays.
I'd tolerate it too if but yeah, it's interesting. All right, the last one that I have is Diamonds Are Forever. Felix Leiter has been ordered to stop the investigation into Willard White's affairs, so the CIA agent obeys by locking Bond in his hotel room with a scantily clad Tiffany case. But Bond leaves the lovely lady, sneaks out the window, scales the walls up to White's penthouse suite, and discovers that White is none other than two Ernst Stravo Blofelds. James Bond is actually climbing the Las Vegas International Hotel, which is known today as the Las Vegas Hilton. So, there you go.
All right. And that hotel is where Elvis Presley did his first residency. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
All kinds of information.
Absolutely.
Well, that is our midweek mini. Although we actually have covered more cards in this than we did in our main show.
We had
But
fun doing it.
I hope you enjoyed it. Again, you can go to unboxtheuniverse.com. You can find our merch. You can find about some of our previous videos and what's going on and things of that nature. We are still selling the Batarangs. So if you're interested in picking up one of those, I believe they're $10 each. We've had quite a few of these fly out the door, so at least some people are enjoying them. And if you have some, please comment and let us know what you think of them.
Had a guy decorate his whole back cave with 200 of them.
Wow.
So, yeah, fun times. Well, that's it for this Midweek Mini. I'm the Curio Hunter.
I'm Monster Truck Damon.
And until next time, happy collecting.